Same AI service, same 20 minutes to deliver. I charged $50 for it. Then I charged $5,000 a month for it. Here is what changed between those two prices, and none of it was the work. Every tier in this episode uses the same underlying service. AI-assisted cold outreach. Research a prospect, draft a personalized email, send it, follow up. The tool stack never changes. Claude for writing, Perplexity for research, a Google Sheet for tracking. The time cost per prospect is identical across all 5 tiers, roughly 20 minutes. What changes is who I sold it to and how I described it. That is it. No new skill, no new tool, no extra time. Just a different frame around the same rectangle. Tier 1. I listed myself on Fiverr. The title read, AI Email Writer for Hire. The buyer was anyone with a credit card and a vague desire for more sales. The deliverable was simple. I will write 10 AI personalized cold emails, $50. The problem started immediately. There were 400 other listings that said the same thing. The buyer had no reason to pick me over any of them, so they picked on price. Every conversation was a negotiation downward. Can you do 15 emails for the same 50? Can you do it for 35? I was selling a commodity, and commodities get commodity prices. $50 a gig, sometimes less. Tier 2. Same emails, same tools, same 20 minutes per prospect. One thing changed. I named the buyer. The listing became cold outreach for indie SaaS founders. That single word, SaaS, cut the competition in half. Indie founders searching for outreach help now saw a service built for them. Not for everyone, for them. The price moved to $200 per project. Nobody haggled. The lesson is almost too simple. Naming the buyer quadrupled the price. The work did not change. The frame did. Tier 3. I stopped selling emails. I started selling what the emails produced. The offer became, book 5 to 10 discovery calls for your SaaS in the next 30 days. Same emails underneath, same Claude prompts, same 20-minute workflow. But the buyer stopped counting emails and started counting booked calls. That shift, from task to outcome, moved the price to $500 per project. The buyer could do their own math now. One closed deal from those calls might be worth $5,000. Suddenly, $500 felt cheap. I did not work harder. I framed the same work around the buyer's ROI instead of my deliverable. Tier 4. I stopped selling projects. I started selling a system. The offer became Sales Development Retainer. I run your outbound engine. 20 booked calls a month. Cancel anytime. The buyer stopped thinking about individual emails entirely. They bought a monthly machine. Predictable output. Predictable cost. $1,500 a month, recurring. The shift here is subtle but powerful. A project has a start and an end. A system runs continuously. The buyer's mental model changed from expense to infrastructure. And infrastructure gets a budget line, not a haggle. Same Claude, same Perplexity, same Google Sheet, same 20 minutes per lead. Tier 5. The final reframe. The offer became Fractional VP of Sales Development for Series A SaaS teams. Same underlying work. Claude drafts the emails. Perplexity researches the prospects. 20 minutes per lead. But the buyer is now a CEO with a Series A budget line for sales development. That CEO is comparing my price to a full-time SDR hire at $70,000 a year. $5,000 a month is a bargain against that number. The title on the invoice changed. The deliverables report goes into their board deck. The weekly Loom update looks like an executive briefing. One client, $5,000 a month. Nearly half a full-time salary. From the same work I once sold for $50 on Fiverr. Lay all 5 prices on a chart. 50, 200, 500, 1,500, 5,000. The work is a flat line across the bottom. The price is a steep curve climbing above it. What moved at each step? Tier 1 to 2. I named the buyer. Tier 2 to 3. I sold the outcome, not the task. Tier 3 to 4. I sold the system, not the project. Tier 4 to 5. I sold an identity, not a service. 4 reframes. 100 times the price. The skill never changed. One Tier 5 client at $5,000 a month equals 100 Tier 1 gigs at $50 each. Same hours from you. 100 times the money. The chart is embarrassing when you actually draw it. One calm retainer on the left, 100 frantic gigs on the right. Same rectangle underneath both. But here is the honest part. You cannot skip to Tier 5 on day 1. Each tier taught something the next tier required. Tier 1 taught the craft. Tier 2 taught positioning. Tier 3 taught outcome thinking. Tier 4 taught systems. Tier 5 taught identity. The ladder is real, but it is climbable, and every rung is a reframing, not a new skill. The work didn't change, the frame did. Price is a story you tell your buyer. Change the story, change the price. More like this: AI with Gunda.